All right, what is up, takers, and welcome back to Ty's Take today. Joining me today is executive producer and writer Latoya Turner. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I know as we are continuing to celebrate and pay recognition to February being Black History Month, I'm super excited to talk to you about an event that's happening in Dayton, Ohio this weekend. But before we dive into that conversation, I do just want to introduce you to our audience. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself and, what really led you to become an author and a filmmaker?
Yeah, so my name is Latoya Turner. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, but I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I have a 4-year-old son, and my background is teaching. So I was a teacher for 13 years. And while I was teaching, I noticed the lack of representation of Black and Brown kids in children's books. So that inspired me to become an author myself. And then I'm a proud graduate of Central State University, but I didn't learn about HBCUs until almost high school. So I thought, you know what? I could write a children's book about HBCUs and teach kids and plant the seed at an early age.
Absolutely. So, can you talk to us a little bit more about your books as well as, what really inspired you? Like you said, not the lack of representation when it comes to different books and even in the media today. Is that part of what inspired you to create Brown Hands Literacy? And then, can you tell us a little bit more about that initiative?
Yes. So Brown Hands Black Schools and Brown Hands White Sand are two books about two characters, Ari and Walter. The first children's book that I self-published was Brown Hands White Sand, about two kids who were exploring a different country. They learned about the importance of other cultures, and it would be cool to put their brown hands into white sand. And then Brown Hands Black Schools, HBCUs, are the same two characters, Ari and Walter. They go into an adventure to Central State University, and they learn about the importance of homecoming and the importance of HBCUs. So it's like a super fun book that talks about like the history of HBCUs, but the marching bands, fraternities, and sororities. So with that, the HBCU children's book, I started an organization, a nonprofit organization called Brown Hands Literacy. So our mission is to educate kids about HBCUs at an early age. So we host events as we are like tomorrow. We host events. We give kids books. We really bring this idea of HBCUs and literacy to life.
Absolutely. I think that is so important, being able to give back to the community hands on and being right there is definitely impactful, especially for, Black communities and underserved or even, there's a lot of conversations that a lot of people tend to overlook or, go the other direction because they're afraid of having those types of conversations. That's why it's so important that, that we're talking and having this discussion today. For you being an author, what have been some of the biggest challenges you faced when it comes to telling these types of stories that resonate especially with youth as well as adults?
With some challenges, but one challenge at the beginning was, so my background, as I said, was a teacher. So I had to learn, how do I self-publish? So that was a challenge itself. Okay, how do I go from being a teacher? But teachers, you can transfer your talents to many other things, but just learning how to self-publish was a huge challenge for me, but something I was able to navigate and get through the power of information that's just out there. But also challenges could be of, sometimes you may not have people who want to learn about HBCUs and say, oh, I'm not interested. But here's the thing with HBCUs, it's a university, it's college. We want our kids to go to college. And even if they don't choose an HBCU, I'm always saying at least they know that they have options. So sometimes I think people are like, okay, well, she might just be pushing HBCUs on us. No, it's all about awareness. So some of the challenges could be like, okay, some kids may not want to go to an HBCU. That's cool too. But again, they need to be aware that they exist, the history behind HBCUs, and know that when it's time for them to go to college, if that's what they want to do, these are their options.
Absolutely. And when it comes to HBCUs, there's still so many people out here today that don't even know what that means or, what that entails. So to sum it up, I know it's a very detailed description, but for the basic foundations of HBCUs, can you talk to our audience a little bit more about those and really break it down for those that may not be familiar?
Yeah. So HBCU stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities. There's a little over 100 HBCUs in the United States. Right now, the number is 107, and sometimes that number can fluctuate depending on if a college use lose their accreditation. But pretty much HBCUs were founded by African Americans and for African Americans. But however, they are welcome to everyone, so everyone can attend a HBCU. But they started because due to the lack of us being able to go to other universities, PWI. So we said, hey, we can have our own university. So that's how HBCUs were founded and started, just because we were not welcome to other universities. So HBCUs were created because of that.
Absolutely. And now I want to talk a little bit about tomorrow's event. Can you take us inside? I know we have a flyer which we'll show on the screen momentarily, but can you talk to us a little bit about what's happening tomorrow in Dayton, and how people that are maybe still looking for something to do this weekend can participate with their families?
Yes, tomorrow you definitely want to pull up. So one of the things that I said with Brown Hands Literacy, we host events. So Brown Hands Black Schools HBCUs is my children's book. But last year, we were able to turn the book into an animated film with live actions. So it's a 16-minute film. It talks about the history of HBCUs. It talks about the marching band, all the fun things that make HBCUs special. Like I said, it's animation, so kids could gravitate to it, and it gets them excited. And then it's live action, so kids know that it's believable. And it's really not just for kids. Like, as I was doing a research, and even though I attended an HBCU, I even learned more information than what I knew. So really, it's for everyone. It's a family event. But pretty much we're having a film screening tomorrow at the Dayton Metro Library, the main branch, from 1 to 3 p.m. It's free. It's open to the public. We're going to be showing the film. There are going to be HBCU alumni chapters there. There's going to be members of the Divine Nine there. We have literacy activities, and it's just going to be a really great time, and you'll be able to watch the film.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and share that flyer right there in the split screen. So that's happening, like you said, at the main library in Dayton. Can we, what if there's like one message or one overall takeaway from the event tomorrow, or, even when readers or families read your publications and your books, what is the overall message? Because I feel like, especially nowadays, we're seeing a lot of different products being pulled from, our major corporate stores, and just the political climate overall right now. How do you plan to continue spearheading your initiative and making sure that you guys are doing what needs to be done in the community?
Yeah, so one of the messages that I would definitely say, one, you're never too young to learn about HBCUs, and then representation matters. As we know right now, as history is trying to get wiped away, kids definitely need to know their history. They need to know that they come from kings and queens, and there are kings and queens, but they definitely need to see themselves represented in positive ways. So if our stories are trying to get erased, we are capable of hosting events, telling our own stories, talking about history, talking about Black joy, and we have the ability to do so. So I would just say to the community, or whoever is watching, is that our kids need us. So whatever is happening in the world, we have control of what we can do in our hometown or in our community or wherever we're at.
Absolutely. I think that's so important. And, for people out there, is there ways that if people would like to donate or provide any type of support, monetary wise, how can we get involved? Where can we find out more information? And how can we continue to help support your mission?
Yes. So one way to support is, one, you can follow us on Instagram. We're always posting what we're up to. So if you see us posting something, if you want to come to our events to volunteer, on our website is brownhandsliteracy.org. If you want to make a donation that way, that information is on the website. There's share, spread the word, let people know about the film. The book is available on our website, and then the film is also available right now on Prime Video. So really, honestly, spreading the word could go a long way as well. So you just say, hey, and not even for the event, hey, there's a girl named Latoya Turner, and she's educating kids about HBCUs, and she have a book and a film. That would be super helpful as well.
Absolutely. And Latoya, before you get out of here, we do this with all of our guests here on our platform. Are you down to play like a quick rapid fire questions game with us? Awesome. I know I'm putting you on the spot. All right. First question. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
You can do it.
Absolutely. And what is one book or movie that has had a major impact on your life today?
The movie Crickland. Actually, in the film, some of the scenes was like recreated based on the movie Crickland.
Wow. I'm going to have to definitely check that out. Who is a figure, past or present, who inspires you the most, and why?
My father, I have his drive. He's no longer living, but I have his drive and his passion. And even though he's not here, I feel his presence and I see a lot of me in him.
Absolutely. And if you could work on a project with any other filmmaker or author, who would it be?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. Okay, so since Mike Lee is director from Crooklyn, that would be super, super dope. And then like other talented people currently right now. Oh, Issa Rae.
Most
Hands
definitely.
down.
Hands down. I just want to say thank you so much. Here on our platform, we talk about a wide variety of topics, also what's trending. So we feature different guests and different creatives and nonprofits. So I really just want to say thank you and, recognize the work that you are doing because it's so important. Like I said, especially nowadays. Before we get out of here, I just want to go ahead and show the flyer once again. And I want to know, are there plans for more books in the near future?
So yes, there are plans for more books in the future for myself, and I haven't dropped this one yet, and for my son. So stay on the lookout for that. And then the goal is to turn this pilot. So I have the one episode of Brown Hands Black Schools film, but the goal is to turn it to a series where we can highlight different HBCUs.
Absolutely. Manifesting all of these dreams and so much positivity and abundance to you in the work that you're doing. So we're going to go ahead and show that flyer once again. It is happening at the main Dayton Library, which is located off of 3rd Street tomorrow, beginning at 1 p.m. The event is free and open to the public, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Awesome. And then we'll be also be sure to include all of the events information on our social media platforms and where people can find you as well. So I just want to say thank you again so much. And we'll be hopefully talking again in the near future to talk about all of your amazing projects that are forthcoming.
Well, I just want to say thank you for reaching out and thank you for doing the work that you do to highlight people who's doing great things in the community.
Absolutely. Once again, Latoya Turner, thank you so much for joining us. And for more information, you guys can visit the website, which is located right down in the drop down below.